What's up everyone, we're back again with the next episode of the NatDex Climb with Monotype. So where we left off in the last episode, let's check here. We left off at about 1414, which isn't too bad. Definitely wasn't a great episode last time, but today we're using Rock's bigger, scarier brother, the Steel type. So Steel type, I haven't tested this team in a few weeks now, so I can't exactly remember how good it's going to be doing or even necessarily how to play it. So we might take some bad losses here, but we're going to find out anyway. So we're going to jump into the team. The team first off is Magearna. So Magearna is absolutely crazy good in this tier. This is kind of an unusual Magearna, I acknowledge. It's a very heavy setup Magearna with Shift Gear, Calm Mind, Store Power, and Drain Kiss. So what this Magearna does is kind of give us a check to fighting types in the tier because it's part Fairy type, its Store Power and Draining Kiss can easily take care of fighting types. As well as that, it's just generally very, very strong. Draining Kiss is great. It's powerful. It's a very weak stab, It's only 50 base, but it is powerful for draining HP and getting good recovery, especially with already pretty impressive defense stats as well as good HP and leftovers. On top of that, we have Store Power. So Store Power is really good after some Calm Minds and Shift Gears. And we have naturally high defense with a max defense bold, max HP nature. And the reason for that is because we have no way of boosting our natural defense, unlike we do our special defense thanks to Calm Mind, which will also patch up our already decent special attack. On top of that, Soul Heart will also increase our special attack, all of which really helps between Draining Kiss and Store Power to rack up some very nice KOs. On top of that, basically everything that Store Power doesn't hit, Draining Kiss can hit quite nicely besides other steel types, but we do have some checks to those in the team. And finally we have Shift Gear. Shift Gear is just for the extra speed as well as being slightly better than just adding speed because it does add 20 base power to Stored Power on top of that. So next up we have Heatran. Heatran is going to be my fire check to the team. This is very necessary because fire types will absolutely destroy my team. It is a max special attack and max HP, kind of like slow, bulky Heatran. So what this does with Flash Fire, it can easily eat fire moves and leftovers for a bit of longevity. We have Protect for some form of scouting, as well as Toxic for team support for definitely walls, otherwise we have struggled breaking. Magma Storm is good for trapping opponents for 4 to 5 turns, as well as doing a good chunk of damage. And next up we have Earth Power. So Earth Power is good for opposing Heatrans, for example. It's good for steel type, it's good for poison types like Toxapex, who would otherwise eat our Magma Storms. Next up we have Corviknight. Corviknight is going to be a max special defense bulky Corviknight, the kind of typical Corviknight you'd see with 248 HP, 252 plus careful nature special defense. With pressure and leftovers, it can actually live quite a beating, and with pressure we can kind of stall out non-stab things like Fire Blast from like Dragapult, for example. Moveset wise, we have Roost for longevity, as well as again being able to PP stall with pressure. Bulk up is super nice for patching up our not exactly impressive defense. Actually no, sorry, that's unfair to say. It's decent defense, uninvested, which puts it up to much higher levels. It's our not very impressive attack that kind of boosts. We're actually gonna use a defense here. So it increases our only okay attack and our decent defenses to be quite threatening. With agility, it lets us outspeed a lot of threats, being able to roost stall and pressure stall them, for example, or being able to power trip KO sweep in the end game. So power trip is essentially a physical version of stored power. So Magearna and Corviknight are kind of two sides of the same coin in that regard. They're going to be boosting up power and hopefully going for an end game sweep with power trip or stored power. So next up we have Aegislash. Aegislash is another answer to fighting types in the team. Because of its steel typing, it is completely immune, which is super important. So what Aegislash can do is, with Shadow Spell Tag, it increases the power of its Shadow Ball and Shadow Sneak. So instead of like investing in Life Orb, which definitely hurts its longevity, I decided to go for Spell Tag because it does offer immediate power in 2 of our main stabs in Shadow Sneak and Shadow Ball. King's Shield is good for, again, kind of scouting, much like Heatran does, while also being able to lower my opponent's attack if they make contact. And finally I have Close Combat for things that, like normal types who could eat my Shadow Balls, or steel types who can give my team a bit of trouble. Next up we have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is going to be kind of like team support in this team. With Iron Barbs and Rocky Helm, it's important for being able to damage things. For example, Urshifu Rapid Strike, if it wants to try and click Surging Strikes for some reason, maybe against my Aegis Slash, I can go into Ferrothorn and it takes a chunk of damage from like Rocky Helm or Iron Barbs, or just anything that wants to make contact will be taking a lot of damage in that regard. We have Stealth Rock and Spike for team support. Just for entry hazards, kind of stack up damage and prevent my opponent from swapping out too much, as well as kind of forcing them to want to defog me because I don't have defog on the team. It kind of forces them to have to defog if they want to remove hazards, which helps me remove their hazards. And rapid spin wise, I can semi-block it with Aegis Slash and Ferrothorn. Next up we have Leech Seed. Leech Seed is great for team support while being able to give longevity to essentially all my team, most of which run leftovers anyway except Aegis Slash and Kartana. And also while being giving Ferrothorn longevity. So that's good for team support. And finally a Body Press because it gives me a powerful move without having to invest absolutely anything in my attack stats, so I don't need attack at all. So it's always important to check your EVs. EV wise we are a max defense impish nature because it is going to be my physically defensive wall. And finally I have Kartana, which is also a bit of an endgame sweeper, which for some reason didn't have nature, so it's good to have that on. Good thing I checked these before going to battle. So Kartana is going to be a max speed Jolly Nature with max attack. So what this is going to be is basically an endgame sweeper again. With Beast Boost it increases its attack one stage after every KO. And with its already impressive speed stat, it will be outspeeding a lot of the tier. With Sacred Sword for dealing with enemy steel types, Leaf Blade is fantastic for water types, ground types as well, which give my team hassle. Knockoff is generally good team support and being able to hit things super effectively. And finally Smart Strike for some steel coverage. So we're going to pause there till we find a game. I'll be right back. So we have our first game, and in this game we definitely don't like dealing with things like Landorus. Other than that, we don't obviously like Lopunny, but their team isn't looking the worst for us. And here I think they might open up Landorus. We're going to try getting Ferrothorn turn 1 as they go Lopunny. So this is actually okay with me. We're going to Body Press turn 1. If they do go for a close combat or high jump kick, I should just about be able to live. And Body Press will get a KO here. So that's a super, super big threat. Kind of gone right off the bat for me. Greninja comes in, presumably wanting to try to get off Ash Greninja, so I feel like Corviknight's the play here. I should be able to live because I am specially defensive. As they go for a Dark Pulse, which does a lot of damage, revealing to me they are most likely Specs. And I expect maybe Tapu Koko to want to come out here, so I will just roost on this. That's Ferrothorn actually comes out. I'll go Heatran. I just try Magma Storm. I know they probably swap out here. Actually, yeah, I think I want a Toxic. I'm going to Toxic on the Kyurem coming in. Hopefully this lands. It does, which is quite nice. And here we can kind of just scout for what they want to do with Protect. If they want to go for an Earth Power, obviously I can get in Corviknight, which is exactly what they want to do. And they don't seem to be leftovers. So I get in Corvi here as they get in Tapu Koko. Good play. I should have seen that coming. At this position, I feel like Ferrothorn is the most expendable member. And they go for a Thunderbolt. They are probably going to be a Z move. And I don't think I have much to live. I don't think Kartana KOs at this percentage just yet, especially with Ferrothorn alive. So I'll try get in my Heatran and Protect here, and what could potentially be a Gigavolt Hava coming out. It will still unfortunately damage me through my Protect, as they go into Lando. Good play. They surely Earthquake here. And I'm going to risk it by going Corviknight. Unfortunately, Tapu Koko is still such a big threat to my team. Even if I Agility, actually I can Agility here I feel, as they go into Kyurem. So what this lets me do is outspeed the majority of their team and just kind of roost stall some Thunderbolts that the Tapu Koko probably wants to throw my way. So I can definitely afford to bulk up once here I think, and just roost again. So I think I can actually stall out Tapu Koko's Thunderbolts, as I should be able to live because my roost will remove my typing, my flying typing. As they go into Landorus, I'll try bulk up again. I definitely outspeed, and I don't see why this can 1 KO me, short of it maybe critting me. And it might get to the stage where, as they go for a U-turn. So they take and Tapu Koko, and unfortunately I actually recovered enough HP because of my leftovers so that I can't roost this turn. So I go for a power trip. I probably do faint here, and that did no damage. I actually survive. Nice. So if I can roost stall out these, assuming I don't get paralyzed, I can easily roost stall these out. It's too much of a roll to go for a power trip there. I really want agility or power trip, but I need to, as I said, try roost stall out the Thunderbolts. Now they could easily swap into something. That was a high roll. How much did it do? It did 73. I think I can afford to bulk up once more as they go into Lando this turn, which is good for me, as that allows me to bulk up again in their face. So my power trip is getting a lot stronger every time I bulk up, because I do get the attack boost. As well as that, I also get 20 base power added onto it. So I power trip here. It might actually KO. Just short, as they hidden power. So they do seem to be either, I think, Specs. But if this lives Specs, that's so impressive. We power trip here. I don't think this lives, as it just about does again. And they Hydro Pump it again. We power trip. So in this position, Corviknight is really putting in work. As long as Ferrothorn is damaged, I think Kartana can suit the endgame quite nicely. So good play there. They are Iron Barbs. But I think I'll just power trip again. As I say, this kind of opens up Kartana in the endgame. Now, I do play this badly because they can Water Shuriken me here. But I believe Magearna can eat a Water Shuriken from Ash Greninja. As unfortunately it will KO, as expected. But now my Magearna comes in. I played that endgame horribly, I think. I shift gear, they go into... I thought they'd go into Landorus. I live 1 hit. I'm confident to live 1 hit. And we will Draining Kiss here. So it might be in the position where Ash Greninja, when it KOs, they go into Landorus, which lets me get off a 140 base stored power, which does a good chunk of damage, and I think puts them in range of Aegislash to win. Actually, Kartana wins the endgame here by clicking Leaf Blade, I believe. So we get the KO there. I don't think Water Shuriken KOs. If it does, I believe Aegislash should be able to live 1. Wow, that is strong. So unfortunately they did crit me, which ended up KOing, but I think Aegislash... That's it, I thought everything lived 1 hit, so... we're going to click Close Combat here, as we did in fact win the game. GG. So that was a close one. The Greninja put in a lot more work than I anticipated, and let's see how much points we get for that, assuming the ladder wants to update. We got 17 up to 1431, not too bad. I'm kind of hoping to aim for maybe 1500 this episode, and we're going to pause there until we find our next game. So we have our next game, and I forgot how much of a menace Victini can be. On top of that, Greninja was definitely tough for me last game. Zapdos can also be a bit of an issue. I think here we don't want to sack Heatran too early, as it's such important key member against Victini. So I think we'll open up Ferrothorn as they go Slowbro. I think they want to go for a Flamethrower turn 1, so we're going to go into Heatran here. They go for a Fire Blast, and we do get our Flash Fire off, meaning Magma Storm is about to hit some serious damage. So they go for the Mega Evolve into Mega Slowbro. Shout out to my friend Joey, PokeMD, who used this in a video the other day, so you should go check that out if you like NatDex. It was a fun video to watch. So unfortunately they stole me out here, but I can't really get into Ferrothorn. This is not good for me. I think Aegislash is my play here. I should outspeed. We live a Scald easily enough, and just click Shadow Ball here. If they go into Chansey, good play. I'm not going to reveal anything here, so I think I will try go in Ferrothorn and just get some hazards down as they go in Zapdos. I'll try Leech. I think we should just about survive one heat wave, so I'll try to get Stealth Rocks down here as they discharge again, presumably trying to catch my Heatran in the swap, which I will now swap into when the heat wave coming out. As they go for a defog. Okay, that's fine too. I'll Toxic this turn. Toxic in the Zapdos is so important for me. And we get so much HP back, so I'll Magma Storm here on the Chansey. So we did trap him in a Magma Storm, and at top of a Toxic, we'll start doing a lot of damage to them over time. So they are trapped for a good few turns, and the Toxic and Magma Storm will kind of just build up, and we'll protect here on maybe a Seismic Toss coming out. As they go to Soft Boil, good play. But again here, I think I value absolutely any damage I can get off on them, with the likes of Magma Storm and Toxic. Nice. They will Soft Boil again here, but we will Magma Storm. As I said, just to get off as much damage as possible. They actually go for a Seismic Toss and end up giving me a Chansey, which is so big for me. So, Slowbro unfortunately comes back in, which is a huge threat to me. I don't really have much to deal with Slowbro, so I think I'm going to have to try and set up my Corviknight in its face. I should be able to live Fire Blast and Scalds quite nicely. A Scald did a lot of damage and unfortunately ended up burning me. So we will Roost on that. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to Agility once. Ooh, Fire Blast does a lot of damage. So that's presumably invested in Special Attack, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and have to Roost stall out a lot of their attacks. They only have one Fire Blast left. Though unfortunately it does more damage to me than I can recover. As they miss it nicely. So I'll just start clicking Agility here, and then starting to bulk up. Zapdos is definitely an issue, as they go Victini. I think I outspeed you. Do I live a V-Create? Probably not. We're about to find out, so I'll Roost here on the V-Create coming out. As they actually U-turn, and they take in Melmetal. That's okay for me. I bulk up in the face of Melmetal. They sub. That can be kind of scary for me. But I'll just try and set up as much as possible on this and go for the Corviknight endgame. So they don't seem to have any boosting moves, which is not good for them. As left unchecked, even after burn, I believe Corviknight kind of wins the game. There's nothing that wants to swap into this. GG. So Corviknight pulling through for me again in the second game, and we got 21 points there, 1452, not too bad. So we're going to pause there till we find our next game. So we have another game, and this one is definitely looking a bit annoying, with the likes of Skarmory being able to wall out a lot of my team, as well as Landorus. And this one can be kind of difficult. I think I want to open up Ferrothorn here again, as they go Landorus. I'll try to get Leech Seed down. They Sword Dance, that's kind of scary for me. But it does reveal that I do outspeed with the likes of Kartana. I'll try to get Stealth Rock down, though I think a Z-Fly will KO me here. Yes, it absolutely obliterates me. So they are probably Fly, Earthquake, maybe Stealth Rock, Sword Dance. Which actually puts me in a decent position here. Unfortunately, if Skarmory is Whirlwind, which it definitely is because it came out so quick, they can Whirlwind me away here. But I'll get as much chip off as possible. 19% is not great. They are Iron Defense. Interesting. If they're not Whirlwind, it looks like I can just go for another Corviknight sweep, potentially. As Body Press is doing a lot of damage, but not enough, and I can easily stall that out with my pressure. Unfortunately, when I do Roost, it will do extra damage, so I have to rely on them not getting a crit on me here, which is not the most reliable, though they only have 6 left. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. So I think it'll do roughly the same damage when I actually Roost, because I lose my Flying typing. It does 52, so we are just about winning this trade. Nice. And I can Agility here once to guarantee that I outspeed the likes of Scarf Tapu Lele. Now, unfortunately, my Power Trip isn't going to do too much damage to them, I think. Wow, that did a lot. Oh, because I roosted that turn, my bad. So they only have 2 body presses left. We're just going to spam agility. I feel like their last moves are potentially roost. Nice. So they give us a power trip on this. If they're not a focus sash, they will get KO'd. So Corviknight really looking like it's going to be winning the thumbnail for me. As I don't think there's really much they can swap into. I completely wall out Landorus. It only has Earthquake and Fly. Skarmory is not in the position now where it can come out, and they actually end up forfeiting, so we win another game thanks to Corviknight. Definitely the MVP so far in this episode, and we get 16 points, not too bad, putting up to 1468. So we're going to pause there till we find the next game. So we have our next game, and shockingly they also have a Landorus. Landorus is just so good in this meta that we will unfortunately see it pretty much everywhere. As well as that Mega Lopunny is very threatening to my team, as well as Rotom Heat. So this is not going to be the easiest game. We're going to try open up with Heatran as they open up with Lopunny. We will protect here as they go into Hoopa. Interesting. I'll protect again. Is this Trick Room? Are they going to Tapu Fini? They're really playing the rounds here. So I'll try getting Ferrothorn now and getting some hazards as they Nature's Madness. Not good for me, and they taunt. Yikes. That's not a good start for my team at all as they take in Lopunny. We will King Shield here. Just in case they want to try and like... They go for a close combat. I say in case they wanted to go for something like High Jump Kick. Now at -1 I think I do survive, and close combat should get a KO on it. As they do go into Ferrothorn. I close combat again. As I think I value the damage off on this so much in the end game. They go into Landorus. If they are EQ, they go for a U-turn. I probably should have gone to Ferrothorn there to chip with my Iron Barbs. Why do you... I'm so lost what that does, so I'm going to try Agility in its face. It goes for a sub. That's kind of scary. I have no idea, even remotely, what this Hoopa does. As they never end in Nightmare, which thankfully doesn't do too much damage to me. And considering that's a Z move, oh, they are plot. So we're going to have to kill this kind of immediately. As they take in Tapu Fini. Now they're probably going to taunt me, but I can roost here. If they go for a Nature's Madness, that's okay too. I will get recovery. So my Power Trip is doing very little damage. But I don't know what they can do to threaten me. So I think we Power Trip a few more times here until we're able to use Bulk Up when the taunt wears out. They go for a Surf and... I'm kind of torn. I think I want to Roost here. Just to get the HP back and kind of try and stall out what they can do. So then they are actually gaining a lot more damage, HP than I am, unfortunately, in this trade. So it's not looking the best for me. And I don't want to run out of PP on Power Trip. I will try stall out as much as I can. As Taunt wears out, and of course I Roost here again. I kind of want to go into Kartana, but they can easily take in Ferrothorn here, so I feel maybe Aegislash is the play. As its Shadow Ball should just do a chunk of damage here, so I'm going to go into Aegislash on the Surf coming out. I have to go for Nature's Madness, and hopefully I just survive one Surf, and my Shadow Ball should do a decent chunk of damage here. Nice. So thanks to Spell Tag, that did an okay chunk. And I will Shadow Sneak here. As they go into Lopunny, good play. I will try get as much chip as possible off with Ferrothorn, as well as forcing them to lower their their defense and special defense, kind of allowing me to get out Kartana. I think Mag is actually the play here. I will Shift Gear as they go into Rotom Heat. That is scary, so I have to take in Heatran as they nasty plot up in my face. I will try Toxic whatever's coming out as they go in Tapu Fini. So this game is not looking the best for me. It's looking quite challenging, mainly because Ferrothorn is so deadly in the end game. I think I have to go Magearna again. And they probably want to taunt me here, so I'll try a Draining Kiss. As they go for Nature's Madness. And unfortunately it does no kind of damage. I will Calm Mind in their face. They go in to Ferrothorn. I'm not quite sure why. Just to Leech Seed me. But if I can get any chip off on this, it's super important for Kartana in the late game. As they are Gyro Ball. So I can't click Sacred Sword as Hoopa blocks. This is not looking the best for me right now. So they're definitely playing this quite well. Yeah, that did no damage. I need to weaken that as much as possible. So I'll click Close Combat here. If Feeny comes in, great play. As they actually give me damage on Ferrothorn, which is so important for me to be able to... I think I click Knock, which should get a KO on basically anything coming in. That should KO. 461, that's definitely KOing. So they're taking Lopunny, which is okay with me. I will give them Heatran here. And I think in this position, is Smart Strike the play or Sacred Sword? I want to be able to endgame with Kartana. Leaf Blade unfortunately will not KO Rotom. I think I go Leaf Blade here. That did no damage on Ferrothorn. Come on, roll. Work in my favour here. Nope, unfortunately it did not. Though we still managed to... No, we don't get the KO here on Ferrothorn. So that is an unfortunate endgame for me. It's looking like I have definitely lost. No matter how much I kind of bulk up here, I feel like Feeny will just win the endgame. Especially with them having a Leech Seed on me now. So we'll Power Trip. It does okay damage, but they are recovering far too much, and I am taunted. So that is an unfortunate endgame. I probably didn't play the best here. I cannot collect Sacred Sword at all. Maybe Smart Strike. It just about misses out on the KO. And they click Fake Out and win the game. So, GG. Definitely was not my best game, and unfortunately we take an L there. So we're going to pause till we find the next game. So we have our next game, and this one, Mega Medicham is definitely a huge issue for me, as well as Hawlucha. I think I can just about be able to tank things like Tapu Koko and Alolan Raichu depending on what I'm using, but here we will open up Ferrothorn to try and just get as much damage off as possible in turn 1. We're going to Body Press turn 1, as they are Focus Sash. So they get their Stealth Rock down, and Hawlucha is definitely a threat to me, but that's why we have things like Aegislash and Magearna. Medicham wise, again, Aegislash is so important for that. Their own Magearna can be a threat to me. They take a Medicham. I think I go Aegislash. They surely don't High Jump Kick Raw. As they take in Tapu Koko. So I will King Shield here, scouting for a potential Z move to come out. Just to see what they can do here. Now Shadow Sneak is so important, so I need to keep Aegislash alive for dealing with things like Medicham and Raichu. So unfortunately they actually managed to T-Wave me. Good play. Here I will get in my own Ferrothorn and try get some hazards down. They taunted. Excellent play. So this isn't looking the best for me. I'll try Heatran as they U-turn. So Raichu comes in here, and I don't know if I can risk them being Nasty Plot. I will try Protect and stall out the electric terrain. If they Nasty Plot here, great play. Great play. So this is not looking the best for me one bit. I do outspeed with Kartana after the electric terrain is down. So I think here I sack Ferrothorn. I'll try to get Leech Seed down just in case. And here I have to Protect to waste a turn. Actually, in case they expect to Protect, I'm going to try... No, don't Earth Power. Sorry. I meant to click Magma Storm. That was an awful misclick because they had a balloon. And I give them that too. So we're taking Kartana here. I feel Knock will KO. Though honestly, I feel Leaf Blade will too at this position. I'm going to knock anyway, just to be safe. Get rid of their terrain extender. And here, I think Corviknight's the most expendable member of the team. It loses to a lot of what they have left. So this kind of invites out Raichu to come back out and just click Rising Voltage in my face as they click Nasty Plot. This is looking quite scary for me, as a Rising Voltage absolutely actually doesn't KO. I am thoroughly shocked. And unfortunately I didn't knock off their terrain extender in time, so here I'm going to have to King Shield into a Shadow Sneak, which I don't think will actually get the KO. Unfortunately, I am fully parried. So that was a very, very quick and painful ending to my game. I have to Leaf Blade here, but unfortunately their Magearna and Hawlucha can easily wall that out for days. So definitely not my best game. Hopefully the next one will go better. Rising Voltage will absolutely destroy me here, and they should outspeed, even if they're not max speed. If they are Aura Sphere, so that is unfortunately game. Short of them not KOing me and me getting like 2 crits in a row, there's no way I can win this game. So we're going to end up taking a second loss here. Let's see how much we lost. So you win some, you lose some. We're definitely going down. Back to 1468, not the worst. And we're going to pause there until we find the next game. So we have our next game. And in this game, they have another Landorus, Shock, as well as Volcarona being a huge threat to my team. Dracovish can be quite deadly too, and we can't sleep on Pinsir, especially if it has close combat. So here, I think if they open up Dracovish, I feel Ferrothorn might be the play. I'll try Aegislash as they go into Superior turn 1, and we will just try click Shadow Ball here. Okay, we're going to go ahead there and ignore my opponent. Unfortunately, Glare managed to fully power me turn 1, but we will try to get a Shadow Ball off here regardless. They are probably sub-Leech Seed Glare, meaning I can potentially set up here with Ferrothorn. So I think Stealth Rocks are quite good in this game. And here I'll just body press them on their sub. We'll get 1 layer of spikes down. If they do set up all their Leaf Storms, it can be quite dangerous for me. And we will kind of just click body press here again. Hopefully getting a KO for Kartana when it comes in, because Kartana does a decent chunk to their entire team, to be honest. I'm going to continuously click body press here. They go for Hidden Power Fire, good play. But as I said here, Kartana should get a nice KO. Knockoff, if not KOs, it definitely gives my team great team support. So Corviknight comes in, presumably wanting to try and defog away what I just threw down at them, which is fine with me because I get rid of their leftovers, as well as doing a decent chunk of damage. Now they can roost on me, so I'll go into Heatran, as they end up going straight for a Brave Bird. So Magma Storm gets a KO. Dracovish is very, very threatening to my team. That much is undeniable. I think we need to keep Heatran alive for Volcarona, so I feel like possibly Magearna is the most expendable member, as that is a critical hit and did not KO. There is no way that is Choice Band. That is screaming Choice Scarf. So we should be able to live with Kartana, but here I think we go into Aegislash and click King's Shield once, lower their attack and click a spell tag boosted Shadow Ball on the Landorus coming in. We're not fully powered, which is nice, and we get a decent chunk of damage there. I think I tried the King's Shield again, in case they want a U-turn. They go for Earthquake. So I feel Corviknight's the play here, as they are Swords Dance. There's Swords Dance Stone Edge, so I can just Roost stall these potentially. Now if they get an Earthquake on a turn I Roost, great play. And they actually end up KOing me regardless. Either way, I'm in the position where Kartana should get a KO here. And I feel like Knockoff gets a KO. I think. They take Invoke. I get rid of the heavy duty boots, and most importantly, they don't burn me with Flame Body. So I'll go Heatran here. I click Magma Storm. Regardless, it does a good chunk to Dracovish thanks to my Flash Fire. I will Protect here to get as much chip as possible. So what this chip is important for is hopefully being able to click Leaf Blade and win the end game with Kartana. Now it's really debatable, do I like... I think I sack Heatran here. I get a second Protect, which is super good for me, meaning Magma Storm does more damage. I'll go for a third Protect. I didn't get it, expected. As I actually end up surviving. What kind of Heatran is Dracovish is this? I may never know. So this is definitely in range of my Kartana. The question is, what can KO all of them? I think Leaf Blade, because Pinsir will be able to live that, as well as presumably Volcarona. Knockoff is the most neutral play here, so I'm going to try Knockoff. As they give me Volcarona, which is super important for me in the end game. Now Pinsir can definitely be trouble for me. Its quick attack is neutral, and I don't think she'd be able to KO me. Kartana does have a lot of defense after all. They go for the Intimidate, good play, but I do outspeed and get the KO here regardless, putting me at +1. So the question is, can 2 knockoffs KO Mega Pinsir? I think it can. Nice, I get the crit. So GG, we end up winning another one there. We get 15, back up to 1446, so we actually lost a lot of points in that last game, I think. So we're going to pause there to find the next game. So we have our next game, and in this game, it doesn't look too threatening. The likes of Alolan Ninetales definitely have Auroraville, which can be annoying for my team, and Komodo can definitely be annoying too, as well as Medicham. Araquanid presumably wants to try and get a Sticky Web down on my team, but I think I value Hazard so much in this game. As they open up Komodo, I'll try Leech them, turn 1. They go for a Flamethrower and unfortunately get a crit, which definitely sucks because now I cannot get my Hazards down. That said, Magearna should be able to kind of start setting up in this position. As they take an Araquanid, I don't think there's much they can do. I will click Calm Mind here, I think. Maybe they go for Liquidation. They go for Sticky Web. But letting me set up my Magearna is quite threatening for them in the long run. Wow, Liquidation did a ton of damage. Hopefully I live one more. I will Draining Kiss back for some HP. Oof, that is not enough. That is not nearly enough. Oof. Stored Power is stronger, but just unfortunately misses out in the KO. So it looks like it's going to have to be a Corviknight endgame. If at all possible. I would love an Agility here. They cannot Toxic me, which is good. Liquidation does so much. What item are they running? Wow, that was strong. I guess because I'm not invested in defense, and they probably go for a Clangorous Soul Blaze here, potentially a Flamethrower coming out. I will easily live the Flamethrower. Or Clangorous Soul, my bad. So they do outspeed me here. And they definitely outspeed me here. And they got the +2. Unfortunately, this is going to be an absolute write-off off the bat. And we're going to have to Protect here. So there's not much we can do in this endgame, unfortunately. They probably read me going to Aegislash here and click Flamethrower. They actually didn't, surprisingly. Letting me kind of just King Shield here. They surely expect me to double back into Heatran. But I think it's the play anyway, as they will slowly die to Toxic Chip. So in this position, they did read that. We go back into Aegislash here and click King Shield. And that ends up fainting. So they presumably click Mystical Fire here. I think Close Combat will just not be able to get a KO. As it doesn't, but we can King Shield again and live the next Expanding Force. So this endgame became very, very, very challenging for me. Especially because unfortunately Kartana will be outsped by Weavile, which ends up coming out. We will King Shield here again. As they go for Pursuit. I think I faint to that, yes I do. So the only hope I have here is I win the speed tie with Alolan Ninetales and manage to win a KO Medicham as well, which is probably not looking likely. And they did end up knocking off my Choice Scarf, great play, so that's going to actually cost me the game unfortunately. So Medicham comes out here and pretty much wins with Drain Punch, GG. So we're going to pause there until we're going to see what we lost. Back to 14-19. This climb is not going well. We're going to pause there until we find the next game. So we have our next game, and I think it must be the first game today we're playing without a Landorus in it, which is nice for me. However, Buzzwole and Cinderace can definitely be threatening to my team as well. So here I think I open up Heatran. I think on Melmetal turn 1. Presumably wanting to try and EQ me, I will click Magma Storm, which should win a KO, assuming it wants to connect. So nothing on their team loves taking a Magma Storm, especially because I can protect afterwards if they go into the likes of Dracovish to get some more chip off of them. The Swallow is definitely an interesting pick. Unfortunately that just missed out on the KO and the Earthquake will knock me out. It puts me in the position where I can start getting KOs with Kartana though. Does knockoff KO? Knockoff surely does 12%. They go into Buzzwole and I get his leftovers. So I'll take in Corviknight here. And I click Agility. It's possible we can get like a nice end game here. Again with my Corviknight. Now unfortunately they will be gaining a lot more power with every single power up punch they throw my way. And they crit me there too. Very unfortunate. And they are actually going to outspeed me by the looks of it. Oof. So this game is going just horribly, horribly badly, unfortunately. If they are Earthquake, they will KO me here. But they might be a Bug move as their final move. They are indeed a Bug move for their final move. So we'll King Shield here. They might sub up again. They might try Leech Seed now that my shield form is down. So the end game is looking worse and worse for me. I Shadow Ball here again. Hopefully this does not outspeed me. Nice. So we take care of Melmetal, which is pretty important. And they did reveal to me that that Buzzwole is completely walled out by Aegislash. I'll King Shield here just in case. They go for a Pyro Ball, which kind of just says, hey, give me a KO. I'm trying to see what the most expendable member on the team is. I don't think it's Kartana. I feel it's Magearna here. That's unfortunate that ends up actually living one. So that Cinderace is going to be very, very tough for me to deal with in the end game. So Kartana has to come out here and I kind of have to just knock, I suppose. Which should hopefully put it in range of a Shadow Sneak from Aegislash. If not, the game is well and truly over. Which I think it is anyway. Maybe they missed Pyro Ball. That would be ideal for me. No. No, it did not. So GG. Unfortunately, that is another loss. This team is not doing well at all. And we're probably down to close to 1400. We're actually below 1400. So we're going to pause there. Hopefully find redemption in one more game. So we have another game, and in this game the biggest threats to my team are definitely the likes of Slowbro, Mineshaw, and Rotom Heat. So here again, I think we open up Ferrothorn, I think, as they go Rotom Heat right off the bat, so we have to get in my Heatran here. I don't think they actually go for a Overheat turn 1, but I can't risk my Ferrothorn in this game. As they go for a Volt Switch, which is a lot of damage. As they take in Mineshaw. I think Aegislash is always the swap here. as they go for a knockoff. Great play. I will try King's Shield just in case they try knockoff again. So I'm playing this quite badly, as well as that my team is not that good. I think I'll discuss what I think in the end, but there's definitely one key Pokemon I feel I'm probably missing here. They could U-turn off on me here, or they could just go for a knock again, which they probably go for. They go for a U-turn. So I kind of value a Shadow Ball on anything that comes in. If Umbreon comes in, I can close combat afterwards. Or maybe get in my Magearna and start setting up. It's exactly what comes in, so on this, I think Magearna is the play. My Magearna seems to be a key member in this game. Unfortunately, it is kind of walled out by Ferrothorn. As they go for a Wish. I will Calm Mind turn 1. So with the Calm Mind, I should be able to nicely live Overheat from Rotom Heat. Unless, of course, they are a Nasty Plot variant, which I expect to come out any second. It is a huge risk doing this, as I actually did survive, surprisingly enough. And after a Calm Mind, because they're now -2 special attack, I should survive one more. I will click Calm Mind here again. Oh no. They are Choice Scarf. They swap out here, I think. So I'm going to click Draining Case. If they stay in, because I can go into Heatran here and get it free. If they actually stay in. Oof. It's not over yet. I feel Corviknight can definitely do well, though unfortunately this can come out later and trick me. So I have to bear that in mind. I definitely value Rocks in this game for dealing with things like Rotom Heat. So this is definitely not my best live. It's going pretty badly as Mind Shout comes back out. I will click Spikes here. They presumably knock again, expecting me to maybe want to go into Aegislash. And they will take a nice bit of chip here. So exactly, they go for a knock, and they do take a lot of chip going for that. I don't think I survive a close combat, so I will try swap into my Aegislash. So if I can get their Ferrothorn relatively low, or their Rotom low, I do think I can possibly win the end game with the likes of Kartana. I will Shadow Sneak here, because they're taking Ferrothorn. That's okay, I'll close combat. It would be nice to get some chip off on this. Actually, do I Shadow Ball? I think I Shadow Ball. Not bad. I do faint here, but Sacred Sword is looking better and better. They can obviously go into Crobat. I don't think Knock will KO at the percent they're at just yet. So I'm going to take in my Ferrothorn and click Body Press. It kind of definitely does invite in Rotom Heat, but between Body Press, Stealth Rock, they take in Crobat. Interesting. They definitely want to defog away what I have, or potentially go for a Nasty Plot. Yep, so they defog away what I have, and I'm going to go try to get Stealth Rock down again, as I value pretty much any chip I can get in this game. Especially on the likes of Ferrothorn, as Rotom Heat comes straight back out. I will go into Heatran and click Magma Storm. So this kind of gives me a KO in this position, as it is Flash Fire boosted. And I can weaken stuff again for the late game for Kartana, so it's not completely over yet. As well as that Corviknight, I can potentially get some KOs, depending if this Rotom is KO'd or not. The fact that Choice Scarf is definitely helpful for me. What else? I value a lot of damage on the Umbreon as well, for sure. If they go into Crobat and get rid of their Defogger, that's huge for me. I think the most important thing I need to damage right now is Rotom Heat. I'm just trying to think, what Kartana button can I press in the endgame that can potentially win? Probably Knock. Especially if I can get some spikes down to start chipping away the Umbreon or the Ferrothorn. So in an awful defeat, my internet decided to not work in my favor and actually disconnected me. So we lost that game to a disconnect, which is so disheartening. But it happens, like we can't really work around that. So we're going to leave it there today. We actually made a net loss. So this episode was truly horrific. We had 4 wins and 5 losses. Not good at all. So I don't think Mono Steel was the one to go for. That said, the team wasn't too bad in testing. I guess I just didn't face a lot of things I was hoping to face. Magearna did not pull his weight at all. I'm not saying Magearna is a bad Pokemon. I think Magearna is a fantastic Pokemon, but just maybe not the set I was trying to use. Maybe Excadrill would have worked better in that position to have like Mold Breaker, Earthquake, stuff like that. But unfortunately, it does struggle by being walled out by things like Landorus. So that's going to be the episode. Hopefully you tune in next time when I, fingers crossed, do better. I have a couple more teams in the works. And as I said in the first episode, I think it might get to the stage where I'm going to have to continuously use teams that are doing well. With that, we're going to end there. If you want the team for whatever reason, do not recommend this one especially. I will link it down below, as well as linking down below the Discord. So if you want to come chat to me, come chat to the community, kind of get updates, regular updates on the videos and stuff like that, definitely join. We'd love to have you. If you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, comment, anything like that truly is appreciated. I'm such a small channel at the moment, trying to grow. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.